Mā te pika pika e rere ana ki te ao. Ka tahi anō ka hoki mai. As the planes come and go onto the airport, so too does the pika pika. As the pika pika flies off into the world, so too will it return.
Hamilton Airport is the gateway to the region. It was important to us that the terminal reflected the important role it places in the community. The airport has been open since 1935, so it has a very long history. Approximately 700,000 to 800,000 people per annum engage with the airport. Feedback from our customers using the airport told us that the terminal was soulless, that it was uninviting. So that was really the embryo to start to think about how we should refresh and make the airport more exciting. We have been very lucky to have been supported by a wide range of consultants and businesses that have helped bring this project to life.
We were asked to come in and assess the seismic strengthening to bring it up to 80% of the national building standards. The airport's been here for such a long time. One part of the building has got quite a rigid structure with concrete and beams, and then the other part is all lightweight constructions with timber. We needed to include a seismic gap into the building that allows the two parts to operate differently in a seismic event. We basically had to open up the whole building and put a whole lot of new beams, columns, bracings, and then also anchor the building to the ground.
Gutting out the existing linings, ceilings, walls, etc., all floor coverings, reinforcing the ceilings with structural steel, and then strengthening existing foundations to meet the current seismic regulations. And in the meantime, trying to keep the whole airport itself operational. It's gone through a complete transformation from what it was before to what it is now. Well, the seismic strengthening work we've done is not physically noticeable. The fit out we've done is noticeable. New ceilings, new carpets, complete new paint job, relocation of the cafe. It's just completely transformed the airport from what it was to what it is now.
Everyone within the organisation is super proud of our new brand identity. What we've been able to, I think, very successfully do is weave the terminal redevelopment project and our brand and brand story together.
There's a really deep richness of meaning within the Hamilton Airport brand. The peka peka, our friend the long-tailed bat, was a starting point.
So this area historically provided beautiful habitat for key taonga species, and the peka peka, the critically endangered long-tailed bat, being one of those. The natural attributes of the peka peka aligned to Rangi Nui, Sky Father, Papatunuku, our Mother Earth, and everything in between. The peka peka gave a connection and identity to place, purpose and planet.
The peka peka, when it's traditionally carved, has a really beautiful symmetry to it, and that was our leaping off point. Simplifying it right down, and end up with the two pillars of the Hamilton Airport tohu. Those two pillars are a really lovely representation of the physical runway, which of course is a natural transition point between the earth and the sky. An important part of the brand and the logo itself is the hahai, the lovely notches on the side of the logo. Those notches represent lineage, passing of time and location, which for somewhere like the airport are really important signposts. Those notches are an element we've been able to bring through not only in the logo, but right throughout the brand. Norm once said that those notches on the side of the logo reminded him of a hongi, a kiss, which is a really lovely sentiment as well. It's really important that people identify with the Hamilton Airport brand. We wanted to create something that everyone was really proud to own themselves. I think was really important for the entire team.
Something that's very special about this project is that there is meaning that's been interwoven into every aspect, whether it's the carpet or the ceiling or the walls or the signage or the branding, even the furniture. It's all been designed for manaakitanga, sense of place, and to tell the conceptual story. One of the key features of the internal refresh is the ceiling. So that was one of the first things that we designed once we had our cultural narrative in place. The ceiling design is about being a moment in time when people come together, all walks of life, and they're all converging in on this point, which is the terminal, and then flying out as people come and go. Our storytelling on the ceiling, we've got the different size perforations, a nod to the peka peka, whose natural habitat is a small hole in a tree trunk. The carpet was quite an exciting opportunity to use colour and texture, which is something architects don't always get to do. So this is actually a bespoke piece that's been designed purely for this terminal. The ground floor is conceived as Papatanuku, Mother Earth, and so we've tried to use greens and greys and sort of have this more forest-like feel. Paired that with timber on the walls, so it's a nod to the land. And also the grey can also be interpreted as kirikiri roa, which means long stretch of gravel. And upstairs on the mezzanine is more to do with the sky, so ranganui. The design is very customer-centric. It's all about trying to calm whoever's in that space. It feels like the whole space is a waharoa. It is a point of transition from earth to sky. All the different creators have really bought into this cultural narrative, and at each step it's just been built on more and more and more, and it's been really exciting to see.
Spaces like the terminal, where a lot of our community gather and journey throughout the motu, it gives us an opportunity to wrap that with some mahi toi, with cultural artworks. So all of the artists involved in the project, they all whakapapa back to Waikato in some way. That was an important part for us, to make sure that, home looks like home and that we're connecting to our home people. The values of the airport, they've been front of mind, and so we've aligned every area to kia ora, we've aligned it to kia mana, and we've also aligned it to kia maia. The artists have taken on board those values and embedded them or infused them into the works. We've created a number of works for the terminal refresh. The arrival and departure gate woven panels, all woven by hand under the instruction of Tina. The entranceway, the waharo, created by Kiratiro Tangata. The feature wall, a signature work by Dr. Brett Graham. And then you have the manuote, which is standing at the central pillar, and then the glass balustrade, and also the glass work on the entranceway. There's a little bit of time that one can spend in a terminal. In those moments, we're hoping that the artworks or the mahi toi that we're creating will offer someone an opportunity to learn something new about not only the terminal but the area.
To know your past is to secure your future. Our connection with the past to the way that we're using this land today is expressed through those artworks. The kind of artworks that Eugene has presented for us goes a long way to acknowledging our past, our present, and our future.
It was really important to the team that the terminal could be a place where people would walk into the terminal and feel proud.
When you come to this facility and you look at the ceiling, you look at the carpet, it's almost for a moment you become a peka peka, a proud peka peka that is in its domain.
It's been really rewarding to work on such a thorough project that's made such a difference.
It's a place now that people can travel and feel happy that they're leaving and arriving to.
Nehe mea ka moe a ahau, kua hau anake, ka moe a tātou, ka tae e tātou. If I dream alone, only I will dream. If we all dream, we will achieve.
Myself and the wider team have worked really hard to ensure that we leave the airport in a much better place than we found it, and we think we've achieved that.